So, if you're over 65, like me,
and active and fairly healthy,
being active and healthy alone will not protect you.
Remember, the immune system weakens with age.
And if you're over 65, ask your doctor about your vaccination options.
we want you to be healthy and active.
Hello and welcome to Career Corner. My name is Len Keychek. This show is produced by SCAN, the Social and Senior Community Action Network. And on our show today we have a very special guest by the name of Luciana Silva, who runs the Brazil Counseling Center in Long Branch on Broadway. Welcome, Luciana.
Thank you, Lynn. Thank you for having me.
We're really happy because the Brazilian population in this general vicinity of Monmouth County is rather big.
It is kind of big.
Any idea of how many thousands, just roughly? Like from maybe the last census?
Yeah, last census, 2010, we were about like 6,000.
6,000 right in
Yeah.
the general Long Branch area?
Yeah, Long Branch greater. But according to the Brazilian consulate, which is like, I think, more accurate, we are about 12,000.
Wow.
Actually, we are like in the middle,
growing?
like 10,000.
And growing?
Growing, yes.
Growing.
Yes, lately, yeah.
So let me just ask you this. You were originally born in Brazil, right?
I was born in Brazil.
And you worked in Brazil before you came here, right?
Yes.
How many years?
Ooh, I came in 1999. I was like 29 years old. So when I came, I had a factory, a T-shirt factory in Brazil, which didn't work very well. That's why, I'm here. So.
But anyway, we had the wet T-shirt contest, I think, down at the beach. But in any event, so what made you want to go into this counseling session? I mean, this counseling, I guess, social work.
Yeah, I like to help. I'm a fan of a volunteer work. I believe when you work together as a community, you have a chance to be success. It's much bigger than working by yourself. So I always try to help friends. But my phone was ringing like from 5 in the morning until like 11 at night. So which is not good. Like my husband would start saying, "Hey, hello, we have dinner," And I came. I'm a volunteer at the church, Catholic church, and I came to Father Daniel, which was the pastor at that time, 2011. And I said, "Father, I need a place."
Was his name?
Daniel Payne,
yeah.
which was great pastor that we had in our parish. I came to him and I said, "Father, I need a place where I can stay and people can find me, but more important, I needed like a landline so people are gonna forget about my cell phone." And the next day he called me and I was there and he gave me like a big, not that big, but a very organized office. So with a landline, copy machine, everything that I needed to start the project, because he loved the project. And since then, I was there for a year and a half, and after that, I said, you know what, it's time to move on, because we start working like one day a week, and then 2 days a week, 3 days a week, and then ended up that we were working every day. And I said, it's time to move on, because he already gave us the big start and big support. So we looked for a place. We rent out a place out of that office, which were much bigger, and that's how, we were there for a year and a half, and now we have a different location, which we are really happy.
And that's the place across from more or less the Long Branch Board of Education building?
Yes, 489 Broadway.
489
yeah.
Broadway.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Lasky House, right?
Lasky House, yeah.
All
Judy
redone.
Sims
Yeah, they got
is the
an
landlady.
award from the Chamber of Commerce for the most improved for having it all done. Good location. So, can you go through a typical week of like how many people do you have walk-ins that come in plus people that you're on the phone with that you help out?
Yes, on the phone it's really hard to say. It's a lot. Yeah, we have 3 lines.
And what kind of questions they have though?
Most people, they come with like very little issues, like phone call. Can you make this phone call? Can you help me to fill up this application? But we have like a kind of a big issues, like my husband was caught by immigration. What can I do? Where should I go? I received this letter from IRS. I don't know how to deal with it. We're gonna try to help them, but sometimes, I should say like 70% of the time, we are able to help them because it's like little issues. Fill up like a money order, checks, very little issues. But sometimes we cannot, which is like 30%, and we're gonna send them to a professional who's gonna be able to help them, like lawyers, accountants.
Like
doctors.
immigration lawyers, for example?
Right,
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 okay.
yeah, because legal advice, of course, we are not allowed
Right.
to do it. And
Right.
we have to send them to a professional.
So, but in addition to helping them fill out papers, do you try to do any sessions where they learn English? Or speak and write, or at least speak English? And
Yes, we
understand
do, yeah. Because a lot of the issues that the community has, it's due to the barrier of the language. And this is our biggest project, teach the community how to do it, because even though the majority of the community are here undocumented, they have their rights. But in order to have your rights, you have to do it in the right way. And we are here for that. So we like to teach the community, do it. This is the way that you should do it. Don't do it in the wrong way, because you're gonna have the consequences in the future. So English, it's part of it. So we have Portuguese classes for the kids, especially, and also for Americans or other nationality that it's interested in learning Portuguese. But English for the Brazilians and also for Hispanics as well. It's a big issue for us. We have like about, I should say, 90 to 120 students at school. Because we believe that if they learn the language, a lot of the problems are gone.
And it's no different from my experience. Now, I'm not going to reveal my age in total, but been around a few decades. When I was growing up, and that was in the 50s, okay, post-World War II, middle of Korean War. There was still, no, but my point is that there was still a tremendous number of ethnic communities in the areas. And post-World War II, there was a great deal of emigration from the countries that had been war-torn. Poland, Italy, Germany, England, France, not so much Spain, because Spain had, they were neutral during World War II.
Right.
But the first thing that happened, and you have the Cuban experience in Miami, for example. Where do they go? They have to go to a community that's going to help them. They're not just going to go walk out in the wilderness and try to talk to talk to whatever you have. But so it's not a very uncommon development, especially starting with kids. I mean, because once the kids do it, the parents are ready, they're relieved that they have someone that can help them.
Right. Yeah, that's what I believe. I believe that we are the first generation here, and we are open doors. Like a lot of things that it is happening to the parents now, it's not going to happen with our kids, because our kids, I used to say like to the kids, my son and friends, you are the ones who are going to give us the proud of being here, because probably on my generation, you're not going to see much like lawyers, doctors, dentists, and like
Good
professionals.
Yes. Though. I mean, you've got tile workers, you got masons,
you
got contractors.
I know.
I mean, first thing I noticed when we bought our condo in Long Branch was that, wow, all those
professionals,
people were Brazilian or Portuguese.
Responsible professionals, they're doing like an amazing job. But I'm saying in terms of like going to college and have your own career, like we're going to have a good generation now, starting maybe in 5-10 years. You're going to see like a lot of doctors, engineers, because we couldn't do it, because we have to open doors. We didn't have time to go to school and have a degree and start working with, some kind of different jobs. Probably because, like I said, the majority are here undocumented yet. Because we have a lot of professionals here already. We have doctors here, which is like cleaning houses. We have engineers in Brazil, which good degree, masters, and they're here in construction just because they're here undocumented. So it is a big issue. But our kids, most of them were born here, so which going to help us? They're American citizens. And we're going to see the difference between my generation and my son's generation.
Now, let me ask you, Luciana, because Brazilian I mean, there have been Brazilians here for once, and I have to smile because Brazilian aren't. There are some Brazilians who were Brazilian because their parents came from Europe, especially during World War II. There's one particular person who works in Long Branch who has a German accent, French first name, but born in Brazil. When I said, "Where are you from?" He said, "Brazil." I'm looking at this. This is, wow. You know, you look actually German, but with your background.
Right.
But again, you forget that there was a lot of, as I said, emigration during the war. And integration in population, et cetera. And there's always mixing of the different cultures. But has the Brazilian population taken advantage of the number of Portuguese that have been here? For example, I know in Ironbound, when I grew up, Ironbound was really growing with Portuguese. And of course, they expanded like everybody else. So I guess when it came to the doctors that we're talking about, medical care, there's still a good network of Portuguese doctors, for example, that they could take advantage of.
Right, yeah. The Portuguese community were here long before us. And they are the ones who opened the doors, actually, for us to be here. Because if they were here before, so we were sure that if you come, you're not going to have much problems, because someone going to speak your language, and someone is there and going to help you. So they are the ones that we have to thank, because they were here first, and they really opened the door for us.
Now, who funds you?
We really pretty much survive on tips.
Really?
Yeah, and small donations.
Even the horse races?
Yeah.
The old egg and number 5. No, no, but it's got to be tough. I mean, to raise money.
It is tough because we are like a non-profit without the status.
And so you just recommend a donation for them, however much they can.
Yeah, because when we started at the church, so we were not supposed to charge, because the project, we're not going to charge. It's like a source of information. If I'm going to give you any information and charge you for that, I must be a professional, and I am not. So I study each issue because, it's been 6 years, and I don't know anything, pretty much. So every single day we have a different issue that we never saw before.
Just before we wrap up, what would you like to see your programs expand to? Because right now you're in one shop. I mean, it seems like you need outreach in other parts where Brazilians live. They don't just live in Long Branch. I mean, they live in other communities where you might be able to get, say, other volunteers like yourself to help.
Right. I think in order for you to do like a good job, you have to start in your own community. I'm not worried about spending the things that we do, because we have to do good, I'm worried about my community here. So I have plans, I have ideas. We're going to need some support, and we are working on that. So we need support to take out the kids of the street. So.
But does your center organize any social events? Or is that done by the other clubs?
No, we do.
You do?
Yeah, we do fundraisers. We do fundraiser for Monmouth Medical Center, because it's, it's been like the 4th year that we are doing that, because we have to thank them for everything that they do for the community, and this is the way that we can pay. We don't do much, it's a little, but we do it. I'll do my best.
Oh. I've known you through our Rotary Club, and we always get along. We're always happy, and it's real. Many years ago, you see some people on the street, and you say to yourself, "Who helps these people?" And then all of a sudden, you get to know somebody who really helps the people, and you say to yourself, now I know who does that. And so I think you've been a wonderful addition. Your whole group's been a wonderful addition to the community at large here. So thank you very much, Luciana, for
thank
being
you.
on the show.
That's what I'm trying. I'm trying to show you guys that we are good. We are more than construction guys or cleaning ladies.
Last thing, do you have a email address that people can go to?
Oh, yes, I do.
Ahead.
It's brhelpcenter@gmail.com. And if you did good this month, if you want to donate something for the center, even though we are not a nonprofit, we accept the donations.
There you go. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So, if you're over 65, like me,
and active and fairly healthy,
Being active and healthy alone will not protect you.
Remember, the immune system weakens with age.
And if you're over 65, ask your doctor about your vaccination options.
we We want you to be healthy and active.
Hello and welcome to another segment of Scan's Career Corner, co-sponsored by the Greater Long Branch Chamber of Commerce. Today, in this segment, we're going to talk about a boutique hotel and a very, very, very nice restaurant. Julian Payne, welcome to our show.
Thank you very much.
Julian's actually got kind of a mixture of a job, because you have to do the restaurant work you do, and then you also have to do the hotel.
Yeah, I thank you, Leonard.
I have those roller skates going back and forth between.
I wear different caps. I wear different caps. Yeah, I run a hotel, the Bungalow Hotel, and I also overlook 2 restaurants, and I also run 1 bar.
Oh, which restaurant?
So I work for a real estate developer,
right?
And I support the management of the Avenue restaurant, which is in Long Branch on the beach, and the Halifax restaurant, which is the restaurant in the W Hotel in Hoboken.
Really?
Which is a big, beautiful new restaurant that just reopened.
The Barrys were involved with that one.
That's correct,
why.
yeah.
Okay.
So it's the same owners.
Yeah.
And then they also own a hotel in Harrison, and there's a little bar in that, and they asked me to run it. So I said, yeah, why not? You know,
nice.
I haven't been a barman for 20 years, so it's nice to get back to basics. You know.
Well, we were fortunate. The chamber was invited to look at the Bungalow Hotel when it first opened, and the impression that most of us had was that it was very uniquely appointed. The rooms were different, and so would that be the way you would define a boutique hotel as opposed to a standard Hilton or Marriott with just a cookie cutter
it's
box?
unique. It's unique, and I think people appreciate things being different nowadays, and they certainly appreciate personal service. And you'll get to meet the general manager, myself. I'll probably be in the lobby or working at the bar, as I tend to do. And all the rooms are different. They're very large rooms. The smallest room is 465 square foot, so that's a large size. The largest room is 1,200 square foot. So it's very unique.
Wow.
And it's open all year long. The season is the busy time.
What would you say your occupancy rate is on that?
The average rate is $300.
No, but I mean your percent occupancy.
For the year, we do about 60%.
60%? Because I know there's certain times you can't even get there. You can't even come close to a reservation.
I wish. I wish 365 days a year. My owners would be happy. June, July, August, September are our peak season. We probably average 90% occupancy in July and August. June and September that we're a bit shy of probably 80. And the rest of the season, it's not easy, but everything is rate driven, and nowadays you need to make sure you're out there, and the rates are out there, and they're on the mobiles, or sorry, you say cell phones, and the internet, and we've done very well. So
let me ask you, how did you get into this business? Did you go to any particular school or training that got you to where you are today?
It's all my father's fault.
Well, your mother had nothing to do with this?
Well, my father, my mother was in hotels.
Okay.
And my father was in hotels, and they actually met in a hotel when they were both working in a German hotel. And my mother was German, and she was a housekeeper, and my father was a receptionist. And that's how it all started. So I grew up following my father's footsteps. I wasn't quite sure. 15, 16 years old, I started working holiday jobs. After school, I went to a college. It's now a university.
Where?
In Ealing, in London, West London. I'm English, so West London. And I went to college, and it was a hospitality management college.
Okay.
And I did that for 2 years. I could have done an extra 3 years, but I wanted to get my hands dirty. And maybe I wasn't a very good student. Who knows? but you know, I still have a passion for the job. And
What I'm about to ask you, I had attended Cornell University, got 2 degrees. My last year there, I wound up teaching financial management to seniors. And what I learned was that from the colleagues in our fraternity and from the school, is that they trained the students in almost everything. They even had to show them how to change sheets or work in the kitchen and do reservations and do ordering, inventory for the hotel. Did you go through pretty much a lot of that kind of
I was
exercise?
Yeah, old school. But, you know, it's old school, and I think for hotel management, it's very important that you do the actual job. You know, how can you ask someone to do something if you don't know how to do it? Yes, and that's what I believe, and that's what I did, and that's what I advocate now. So after going to college, I joined the Savoy Hotel in London, and they had a management training system which covered 5.5 years, and basically you worked in every department in the hotel. And I started as a commis waiter in the restaurant, I worked as a barman, I worked as a chef, a beverage controller. You have 2 departments in hotels, operational departments. You have food and beverage, and you have the rooms. So I spent 2.5 years doing both, and then you have to decide which way to go. You don't become a manager just straight away, yes? So I chose the rooms avenue, and worked in Paris, worked in Hong Kong, came back to London, worked 15
quite
years.
Different cities, quite different...
International cities.
Quite,
you know.
quite different clientele even.
I mean, it's all on the same map, you know, London, Paris, Hong Kong, New Jersey.
Yeah. Okay. I got the connection. How did you row over to Pier Village to work in Avenue and work with the Barrys?
I worked for some great owners. Yeah, I worked for some great owners, and the chemistry is there. And there was an opportunity a couple of years ago, and I came over and I helped them out, and we stayed in contact. And I was very lucky, and they sponsored me. And I moved over, and my family moved over last year to New Jersey. And last year I was running 2 hotels. So last year I was running a hotel in California and a hotel in New Jersey. And
that's more than telecommuting.
Well, is it as far as London, East Coast? I'm not sure, but it's probably similar times, you know. So I've never been to California before. They bought a fantastic property called Timber Cove, which is in Sonoma, and they're renovating it. It's going to open in about 3 weeks' time.
Wow!
And I was running that last year, and I was doing 2 weeks here, 2 weeks there, 2 weeks here, 2 weeks there. Of course, when my dear wife arrived last year with my son, we came to an arrangement that I would be more on the East Coast. So, yeah.
So you have long hours, because even with the time differential and talking to everybody...
You don't count that. You don't count that out.
12-hour days, yours is 15 hours.
I mean, hotels, you have to be... If you're a people's person, you're a people's person, and I'm a very honest person, and I like to make people happy. Yeah, and I like to shake people by the hands after their stay, and they say, "Thank you, Julian, we had a great time." Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about Avenue, and I can personally vouch for having been there many times, and never had always had a great meal. And we even did our son's wedding there back at the end of November of 2014, and everybody had a great
Fantastic
time. Beautiful views, beautiful setting, and most importantly, good food. So, and the wine selection.
It all helps. Avenue's fantastic. Avenue's a great concept. Terry's the manager there. He's been there many years. They have a restaurant, they have a beach club, they have a nightclub, they have a swimming pool on the 3rd floor. The bar's fantastic. They do lots of events. They do lots of weddings.
A lot of happy hour there too. And,
a great happy hour there. 3 to 7.
3 to 7. Nice munchies or tapas, if you want to call that, little appetizers. Yeah.
So no, it's great. It's consistent. You know, in the summer they're doing up to 1,000 covers a day. Wow. Yeah, and it's a restaurant where you go, and you want to return, and you don't just want to return for special occasions. Terry wanted to create a neighborly French bistro, and it's amazing. It's very good.
Is this the booklet you have there?
Yes, this is Avenue. This is weddings, corporate events. It's on the beach. It's on the boardwalk. So it's absolutely amazing.
One of the things that is attractive to Pier Village in general is just being able to dine outside on a beautiful summer day and just watch the water come in. And even with a little bit of a haze, a little fog, but it's always just nice and just in a way its own romantic ambiance, if you want to call it that. And people say that this is kind of like the essence of the Jersey Shore, that they can have a great time, have a good meal, and also just breathe in that salt air from the
And it makes a great change from the big smoke. You know, people come down from New York. You know, they can just let go. The great benefit, if you stay at the Bungalow, you get access to the beach club, which is a members-only beach club at the Avenue, and that's amazing. So we're a block away from the beach.
Right.
So the concept is come and stay with us. The rooms are big, the rooms are beautiful, the rooms are clean. And then go to the beach and spend the day at the beach club and have dinner at the Avenue and dance the night away in the nightclub.
For those of you who have good knees, probably. But so Julian, where do you see yourself in another couple of years? You like the organization that you're with. They must be growing too, and I think you want to. I get the sense that you want to grow with them.
Yeah, it's as you can see. Last year I was running 2 hotels, then it changed to 1 hotel, and now I'm supporting 2 restaurants, managing 1 bar and 1 hotel. So, you know, wherever they send me, I'll say yes. I think it's a great opportunity.
I think probably if you had your druthers, I know they're all very tough businesses. Hotel business in terms of just the people staying there versus the restaurant, the food and beverage end of it, where there's a tremendous amount of competition, margins, worrying about inventory and everything else, but the profitability seems to be a little bit better since you don't have the fixed cost of the hotel, whether you have the mortgage that you still have to pay by the occupancy rates as opposed to the food and beverage, which is more of a short-term kind of liability situation.
As I say, you wear different caps. Yes. The reason why I chose the rooms Avenue was normally in a hotel you make a better percentage.
Okay.
You make a better a better profit margin on the room side.
But you still need a lot of volume in restaurants.
Yeah. You know, the restaurant, you have a big kitchen brigade, you have the serving staff, you know, you have all the add-ons and the beverage cost, the food cost, you know.
The bookings, the complaints, the people that are happy, and
everyone's happy.
But the menu is a big draw.
Yeah.
The kind of menu that you have, the specials that you have are a big draw.
Correct.
And I think people are happy to go there. For me, it's a short walk to get to both places.
Correct.
And you've been very accommodating with respect to networking activities for the chamber, and they certainly appreciate that. And probably, I think in the near future, you may be doing, maybe in the fall when it gets a little less busy, another tour of the hotel, of that. So, how's your family happy being here?
Yes. My wife is French. She's very happy. You know.
I was nice speaking with her in French a little bit when we saw each other.
That's right. Yes. I mean, it's
celebrating
a small
your
world.
anniversary at the same time we were celebrating our anniversary.
Exactly. So it was a big change coming from Europe to New Jersey.
As with any place.
You know, our son is 14. He did 8th grade last year. He's doing 9th grade in September. We've found a great school for him. You know, maybe it takes a bit of time to make friends and sports.
Absolutely. Well, Julian, it was wonderful, and love to see you again soon.
Thank you very much.
And thank you.